Hello everyone and welcome to another Minecraft update video. This is release candidate 1 for 1.20.2 and I need to bring you up to speed on multiple things. We have the previous pre-releases to cover, the release of 1.20.2 itself, and news regarding when we'll learn about the 1.20.1 update. First of all, we need to go back to pre-release 1 to touch on something that was a little confusing in this video. A new game rule for Ender Pearls was added. Here it is in the command block, and unfortunately it didn't work in pre-release 1. But it now works, and that means I can clearly explain what's going on. This is the default. This game mode is true by default, so we're going to go ahead and set it to false to show you the new behavior that can be enabled. So I've set my spawn in this bed. I'm going to go ahead and use this command block, which will kill me. And then when we come back over here, you can see our ender pearl in our ender stasis chamber still exist in the world. If I activate the contraption, I get teleported up to the top here. So that is not the default behavior of the game. This game rule will enable you to have something like this work in your Minecraft world. Now what you do to set this thing up is just throw an ender pearl into the water. So let's go ahead and see the default behavior. So my spawn has been set. We're going to kill me, respawn, and what you'll see is that the ender pearl has vanished. That is the default behavior of the game, and the choice here is to set the game rule to false if you want ender pearls to persist after the player has died. Also in pre-release 1, we had some changes to villagers. And I saw a lot of comments clowning on this set of trades right here. We are talking about the 4th tier of trades that the armorer has if it's a Taiga type. So I wanted to clean up any confusion, as I thought this is actually a trade that's kind of good. If we scroll down here, you'll see this one probably has the best 2 trades you can get. If you've already got some diamond boots, it's just 3 emeralds and you can turn them into leggings. And then of course you can take leggings and turn them into a chest plate. I think what players didn't pick up on is that it's cheaper to craft boots than it is leggings. So with a few emeralds you can save a few diamonds. Anyway, all of this villager stuff is still in development, it's experimental, and it's not going to be part of 1.20.2. And on the topic of villagers, we have this tweet from Nembom, one of the developers of Minecraft. And this illuminates how the different villagers there are for different biotypes are linked together through those map trades that we saw in the pre-release 1 video. And yes, if you saw my video on how to fix villagers for 1.20.1, you would have already seen this image. But of course, not everyone watches every video you post, so for those of you watching this update video, just wanted to keep you informed. And that leads me to this reminder that your last chance to migrate your Mojang Minecraft account into a Microsoft account is just in a few days on September the 19th. As it states here, unmigrated Mojang accounts will not be able to sign into Minecraft.net or the Minecraft launcher to migrate. And to me, it seems a little unclear as to what happens after this date, if you'll be able to migrate in the future. I think the answer is no, and you'll be locked out of the game. So if you have a Mojang account, make sure to migrate. So due to some bad timing and the last few pre-releases not having too much to talk about them, we're going to cover them all in this video, starting with pre-release 2. The big change in this one is the undoing of changes to how search works with crafting recipes. If you didn't catch this, don't worry. If you did, you might remember that we searched for ingot and it would only turn up results that actually had the word ingot in it. Whereas now you can see that smithing template is in here because it's parts of ingots and crystals. So the idea was to minimize the amount of recipes that would show up in front of the player to make it easier for them to get to what they wanted. But unfortunately, in doing this, there were some bugs and issues that arose that had not been foreseen, so they've had to undo these changes. Now, there were quite a few minor bug fixes in this pre-release. The one worth talking about was an old one that goes as far back as 1.10. If you've ever played multiplayer, you've probably encountered logging into a world, seeing a player with their head backwards, and then when they move it faces the correct direction. This is because when player heads are first rendered, they face south until they move. And it's nice to see these strange little quirks that have been in the game for a long time being taken care of. And last of all, this pre-release also updated the resource pack version to 18. Now we get to move on to pre-release number 3. And as you can see, there were only 3 bugs. They're all related to recent issues popping up in development, like hoglins suddenly not being able to be bred. And then of course we have pre-release number 4. A new damage tag type for always kills armor stands has been added. And I believe that a player in creative mode has actually been added to this list, because the frustration is, you know, you have to hit this thing a couple of times in a row to get it to break. Whereas as you'll see here, it's now completely instant. And that can of course be customized with the tag. Also in this pre-release were a couple of rather technical looking bugs. And this now brings us to release candidate number 1, and the image is actually related to the main change in this release candidate. The positions that all entities ride on minecarts have been adjusted to make more sense. So let's do a before and after look. You can see that the witch now stands up in the minecart. Now we weren't given a list of which mobs have changed their positions, so if you have any contraptions that use mobs and minecarts and that kind of stuff is sensitive, be on the lookout for those changes. And what about the release of Minecraft 1.20.2? Well, it is planned for next week, so if something comes up there might be a release candidate too, but be on the lookout next week for 1.20.2. So it's quite likely this is my last video on 1.20.2. So now let's move on to talking about 1.20.1. If you've been following Minecraft for some time, you'll know that Minecraft Live is now the way that the next big update of the game is announced, and the next event is going to be on October the 15th. So as Mojang usually do, they've released an announcement video to let us know that Minecraft Live is coming. It's full of cutesy animations with the Minecraft characters, the different mobs and new features from the 1.20 Trails and Tales update. I did watch this video with an attentful eye for detail to see if any little secrets or hints have been snuck in there, but I don't think anything along those lines was added. And it's probably no surprise that despite the controversy, the mob vote returns once again, and you're going to be able to participate in game. I'm going to guess this will be similar to last year, where on Bedrock Edition there was a server lobby that you could join and you could participate in voting for the mob, as well as playing a bunch of really cool mini games, and there's little Easter eggs and secrets to hide. So I expect we're going to see something like this again. So in the 2 days leading up to the event on Sunday, October the 15th, you'll be able to cast your vote and help pick the next mob that's going to be added into the game. It has just occurred to me that this probably means that we're going to get some videos drop in the days leading up to that, informing the players about what the new mobs will be, and I'll probably be covering that here on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed. And so this event is going down October the 15th at 1 PM EDT. I always like to provide links to these articles I show in the video, so if you link through to this one, there are some links to convert your time zone inside of the article. And that way you'll be able to find out what time it's on in your time zone. Now I am pretty sure, like all the mob votes, this one is going to cause some rumblings in the community, some controversy again, and at this point I think that Mojang have just realised that any publicity is good publicity, right? And all of this stuff, well, it gets people talking about the game. So if you like it or not, the mob vote is going ahead, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what our choices are. And I now covered all the things I needed to tell you about to bring you up to speed on what's happening. So that's it from me this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Thanks as always for the support, and I'll see you soon with another. Bye bye.